What's up, everybody? Welcome to week 45 here on the 52 Horrific Weeks in 1988. I am your host, Moon616, and thank you once again for dropping in, guys. Alrighty, yeah, week 45, we are getting close to the end. And, of course, the remaining few films went into that randomizer. Hit that random button. And we've got Fright Night Part Dux. Yes, the sequel to Fright Night, the classic Fright Night. Yeah. This edition right here is actually a bootleg because I missed out on the original artisan DVD, and it's a really good looking one too. It's really well done. This isn't even a paper insert. It's like a real insert. It's really odd. Transfer's pretty good and stuff. So, but anyways, maybe one day this will actually get released on Blu-ray or something. But until then, I've got this. So, Fright Night from 1988. Fright Night Part 2 from 1988. Getting into the plot of this one. Basically, this one picks up about 3 years later. After the events of the first film. Charlie Brewster is now in college, and he's also seeing a psychiatrist at the same time. Basically what he's trying to do, he's going to a psychiatrist because he wants to convince himself that vampires don't exist, and the events of the first film really did not exist. You know, it's kind of all in his mind and whatnot. So he's trying to get over it that way. Of course, Charlie has a new girlfriend. A very pretty, smart girlfriend and whatnot. And basically, you get introduced to these characters, and shortly after, you know, Charlie starts noticing some weird activities outside and whatnot and stuff. And lo and behold, he kind of discovers that there quite possibly could be vampires back, and that it's not all in his head, and that they really do truly exist. So he starts doing this investigating. He starts having like really odd dreams, and he starts seeing like this girl in his dreams, and he can't tell if his dreams are reality or reality is dreams or whatnot. So he keeps talking to his psychiatrist, but he's pretty much kind of convinced himself that vampires are back and they do exist. So he starts doing a little more investigating and whatnot, and then lo and behold, he discovers that there is vampires, and the main vampire that's come back to basically get him is Jerry Dandridge's sister, played by Judy Carmen. Her name is Regine Dandridge in this. She has basically showed up to make Charlie's life a living hell. She basically kind of wants to immortalize him so she can torture him for eternity and, you know, kind of kill off everyone else that he loves and whatnot and stuff like that. So now he's basically trying to escape this, you know, this wrath of Regine Dandridge, and also becoming a vampire himself. So that is essentially the synopsis of the film right there. Now, my thoughts on this one. Now, this movie actually starts out pretty good. I think that the character development's pretty well done with Charlie. You know, his paranoia, the way he's acting and stuff. I think the first half of the film is actually done really, it's kind of executed pretty well. And then the middle part kind of drags, and then the ending is just, wow, this one really kind of tails off. But the first half of the film is interesting with Charlie and his dreams and stuff like that. I really like the imagery. A lot of cool things happening and things that are going on with him. And, you know, Peter Vincent's also back in this film, played by Roddy McDowall, of course. So that was really cool that they reprise their roles and whatnot and stuff. But so yeah, the first half of the film is interesting, you know, all these things that are going on. Now, the second half of the film, it kind of tails off because now you got this kind of subplot going on with Charlie's girlfriend and a vampire that was actually sent out to actually turn her into a vampire, but he kind of starts falling for her a little bit. Then you got this little weird thing going on with Charlie's girlfriend and this vampire, which I really think doesn't work for the film at all. Like, I understand that Charlie's got a lot of things going on, and he keeps blowing off his girlfriend, so this guy's kind of filling in and whatnot, but it doesn't really work that well. It's kind of not, it's not believable, because his only job is to basically capture her and turn her into a vampire, and then, you know, and then go after Charlie after, kind of thing. So I don't really think that subplot works in this film very, very well. And then, you know, basically into the third act of the film, and it's kind of cliched in the way it plays out and whatnot. One funny aspect of this film is the effects. Like, the effects are not that great in this film, but they're kind of funny to watch at times. I get a kick out of it anyways, but I don't know, man. This is one of those movies that really does kind of start out strong as a sequel and then just tails off big time in it. It's so cliched and kind of poorly executed, but it is what it is. It does have a lot of cool elements, though. Like I said, some of the scenes in this film are pretty interesting. I like the whole aspect of Regine Dandridge. You know, at first they're not really too sure if she's a vampire or not, and she kind of plays it off like she's a performance artist, you know, stuff like that. Peter Vincent, of course, you know, puts the kibosh on that and figures that, you know, he figures out that she's not because she doesn't cast a reflection and whatnot and stuff. But I do like that aspect of her, and she's very beautiful in the film. Her character is very fitting to what is going on in the plot and stuff. But yeah, there's, you know, overall, it's a decent watch. It's not that exciting. It's definitely not even close to as good as the original film. I really do like the soundtrack in this film. I think the main theme in the song is really fitting. It's actually pretty fucking good, to be honest. Not a lot of kills in this movie, like not a lot of gore and stuff, until like basically the third act. There's some pretty decent things. I like when the one vampire, I won't really give it away, but it has to do with stomach and worms and stuff. I thought that was pretty well executed. Looks pretty interesting. But the whole end of the film is just like, it's very forgettable and cliched, and it is what it is. But definitely check this one at your own risk. We all know that this DVD is way long out of print, so you can get it any other way if you want to check it out. Just give it a shot. It's definitely worth the watch. It's not a masterpiece by any means. If I had to rate this one, I'd probably give it about a 6.5 out of 10. Solely for the first half of the film. I do think that there is some pretty decent cinematography in this film also, which actually creates some pretty decent atmosphere, and some of the dream sequences I think are pretty well executed too. But like I said, right in the middle of the film it starts to drag, and then it just kind of goes downhill from there. And I think that even the cinematography and the whole direction of the end of the film, it really does lack inspiration, in my opinion. It's just, it feels like it's kind of forced and just kind of get it over with kind of deal. But I don't know, man. It's still a decent watch. Always love this cover. I think the cover art's fantastic. So I don't really know what else to say about it. You know, Roddy McDowall's great as Peter Vincent in the film as usual. I really like his character. He's awesome. But anyways, guys, you know, 6.5 out of 10. Fright Night 2. It is what it is. So yeah, that's going to do it for week 45 here on the 88 series. I will be back next week. Of course, I do not know what the film is going to be. Hope to see you guys then. Peace out.